The reason why I'm bringing this up when we're talking about Zoran is because it's just like I see so much of the identical lines of attack trying to create. I'm using my own personal experience in this situation because, like, background wise, we have a lot of similarities.
Welcome back. So Zoran Mamdani, the Democratic nominee for New York City mayor, and the party's new poster boy, has a history of anti-Semitism, including this highly offensive video making fun of Hanukkah that he posted back in 2024.
What? Wait, why is this offensive? Also, I don't want to be, and I don't know if I'm being, but is that just rain? Like, am I being, like, are my eyes deceiving me? Take the L, bro. Take the L for what? Is Zoran even in the video? What the is this? No, he just posted it. Wait, so this group does songs for different holidays. They just look like that. He even posted one for Christmas. I don't get it. What's anti-Semitic? Like, what is the, like, is it just that, like, they're Indian? Is that why? Like, they're brown? Like, is that unironically the point of contention here? Is that, like, they're brown guys that made a video celebrating Hanukkah? I'm not, guys, normally I'm a little tuned in. I'm a little better tuned in to, like, the mind of a, and I can kind of comprehend, like, what the argument is. Wait, it's coming. Why is Drew Pavlov getting so much playtime here? Like, this just goes through Zoran Mamdani's shit and then it makes its way to Fox News. What is going on here? Getting them to do it is an existing YouTube comedy account with 1 million subscribers. Zoran celebrated Hanukkah by getting an Indian comedy trio to dress up as Jews and spin a dreidel. Literal blackface minstrel show tier. This is the most mask-off shit ever. Getting them to do it is an existing YouTube comedy account with 1 million subscribers from 2012. And they have a holiday series for Christmas and Kwanzaa. It's literally just them dancing with Punjabi music, but foreign language must be so hateful, right? They're just trying to make up shit at this point during dancing with foreign music, so it must be scary. Also, dressed like Jews, they're sick. They don't cut their hair. They look like that. But the got them to make it is still hilarious. Wait, so this is just it, huh? Like, this unironically is just because they're brown. I know who Just Rain is, chatters. I know. He's the GOAT. I'm saying I couldn't even comprehend why this was considered somehow anti-Semitic. Like, this is a bridge too far for me. Normally, I'm pretty tapped in to the mind of a, but I didn't understand what the offensive act here was. Like, I didn't get it. It's like if a Chinese comedy trio or a comedy troupe in Mandarin sung like Happy Hanukkah or sung a song about like Christmas, and then people were like, this is the most thing I've ever seen. This is like anti-Semitic. The offensive being Arab. They're not even Arab. They're Indian. They're Sikh Indians. They're not Muslim, and they're not Arab. This is new. I mean, this like, there's nothing offensive here unless you literally think that it's like automatically offensive if someone you suspect of being like a Muslim Arab guy is doing a video to celebrate Hanukkah in a different language other than Hebrew. Like, that's why on its face I didn't even understand what like the anti-Semitism was here. And Zoran posted that as well. Is Zoran also anti-Christian? This is fire, by the way. I mean, actually, both the Hanukkah song and this one they kind of go hard. I'm not saying this because like I am a Zoran supporter, but like everything that they find of him, like I've yet to even see something that they bring up that I think would get people to scrutinize whatever he's doing. Like I don't think they found a single thing. Like at most, the stuff that they got on him is like the whole classic 2020 era of tweeting of like queer liberation can't happen without defunding the police. Like that's it. But he's already woke. It's not like he's against wokeness now. So it's like it's already who he is. So they can't be like, oh, he changed. Like he's lying now. He changed. He's like, he still says like, no, I want to keep the police at the same head count. I want to keep the police at the same head count and like restructure the way that we utilize cops. Allegedly, they found him being pro-Assad. What? Zoran Mamdani faces new criticism after unearthed. Dude, this is like the same. The Zoran Mamdani shit is so funny because like, I'm sorry, this is exactly what people do to me. It's so crazy. Sharing a pro-Assad article denying chemical weapons use is like remember when I wrote, remember when I famously at the time wrote an article for the Huffington Post and made a video about how people actually did not care about Syrian refugees at all. I was in the process of explaining the Assad thing. I wrote an entire article, not defending Assad by any means, but talking about how the Western world was not opening. The Western world was not opening their fucking doors to Syrian refugees after this like massive crisis that we also played a role in, and how up it was. And people love pointing to that tweet of me being like, people don't give a shit about Syrian refugees, sarcastically, and saying Hasan was actually pro-Assad. Look at him being pro-Assad. Like, no one cares. No one cares about what the truth is. The major difference here between me and that was a callous tweet. What? See, this is what I mean. That tweet was in poor taste. Let's be real. Look. I quite literally have also a legion of weirdos that will relitigate all of the manufactured crises that are not real. It's not a callous tweet. You misunderstood. And now I'm in the process of explaining it to you. The truth is that both sides are bad. No, the truth is that you're a moron. This is it. This is the problem. The truth is I'm an endlessly accessible person, which is precisely why all of the manufactured outrage that has calcified over years, regardless of what the truth is, doesn't matter. Do you see what I mean? That was not a callous tweet at all. That was me literally criticizing people not giving a shit about Syrians. That's the problem. But most people, instead of recognizing that they're wrong, will just continue relitigating the same issue. Same goes for this. The brothel thing doesn't help. Zoran doesn't fake laugh as much. This is what I mean. What brothel thing, dumbass? I went to a brothel that still is legally operational, that they successfully sued the state for falsely claiming that they were doing sex trafficking, and still bring this shit up again and again and again and again. And it's like disingenuous. And at first I spent so much time explaining to people like what the truth is, and it doesn't matter. It literally does not matter at all. Like there are content creators who have done horrifying things to people, whose victims are out there trying to defend themselves and get attacked by their fans. Meanwhile, there are people in here who get whipped away by completely made up nonsense like outrage farming that unironically worked on them. And instead of understanding that this was just like outrage farming that worked on them, they turn around and relitigate it over and over again. This is the point I was making, which is that this is completely made up. Outrage farming, outrage, manufacturing outrage. Something that would otherwise not be considered outrageous is considered outrageous because enough people say it's outrageous, and then people get whipped away in the panic of it. The greatest example of this is me buying a house for myself and my family. The propaganda against you is infesting everywhere. I review on almost every day. My partner asked today how you came from being so right-wing to where you are now. I know. I was never like a right-wing person. I have reactionary opinions that I've never actually hid. I made misogynistic jokes 13 years ago in a satirical show that I tried to make and then subsequently deleted, that neo-Nazis initially unearthed it to be like, oh, cancel this guy. And also transphobic opinions as well. Transphobic jokes that I made. And it's a very formative and very important part of my evolution. And it drives my worldview. It's something that I've never hid. It's something that I actively will talk about. It's also part of the reason why I always explain to people, like, you can't hold people to positions that they had in the past, especially if they have evolved from said positions. Everyone has a different starting point. What do you mean, bro? This is the first time I'm hearing of it, therefore you're hiding it? Yeah, exactly. All right. But yeah, getting back to this, there's nothing here. There's literally nothing here.
Yeah. Fox News reached out to Mamdani's campaign about the video, but has not heard back. And Mamdani's still catching heat for reportedly lying about his race on his college application. But that doesn't seem to bother the far left. They'll keep defending Mamdani, including House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who dodged the question last night.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams is attacking Mamdani over reports that he identified himself as African-American and Asian on college application. I mean, is this a real issue to you?
I think, to me, the issue that we have to deal with in New York City, which our Democratic nominee did talk about extensively during the primary campaign, is affordability.
Kaylee, I seem to think that Mamdani's appeal is much like Gavin Newsom's. It's almost aside from policy. It has to do with his persona, how he carries himself, how he looks. He has some charisma. We talked about this last night, actually. And then some of those policies that he's putting out there are very appealing to a younger audience. We were talking about that earlier. What are your thoughts on it?
I think the charisma is a big part of it, especially for young voters my age. I think his social media appeal was a big part of it. I do think that the talk of affordability was also a big deal for younger voters in New York who might be struggling. Of course, I think they lack the political and life experience to understand that the solutions that he's putting forward are nothing but...
Yeah, thank God you have the fucking political and life experience. Commentator at Fox News. Yeah. If only people my age also got paid to be a fucking reactionary charlatan.
Empty promises.
Everyone, it's a lower and lower constituency that insists on hating as you. As far as I can see, thank God. I don't get how chatters can see you walk in the streets of LA and anime expos and whatever, and everyone says they fucking love you. You make their day just showing up and still go chatting. I think I know why everyone hates you. Yeah, it's people that spend most of their time online. That's what it is. And there's a lot of people who increasingly spend all of their every waking moment online, and that's the only way they can, like, see the world. So if people online are constantly fucking farming outrage, but the much, much larger group of individuals that are out there existing in the real world don't see it, then it doesn't make... like, as long as you never go outside... You will never have that opinion be challenged, and that's it. It's just mostly hate. The reason why I'm bringing this up when we're talking about Zoran is because it's just like I see so much of the identical lines of attack trying to fucking create. I'm using my own personal experience in this situation because, like, background-wise we have a lot of similarities, but it's the primary, the driving factor of all of this discourse is still the same. It's just like attacking the messenger rather than the message, because they're fearful that the message itself might reach a larger audience. That's it. Did seeing the attacks on Zoran help you understand the attacks against you better? I mean, I already know what the primary focus of the attacks against me are, so it's not new to me.
But what's notable is that, you know who did see through that? Actual working class New Yorkers. If you look at the demographic breakdown of the primary election, it showed that black New Yorkers, Hispanic New Yorkers making under $50,000, they did not vote for Mamdani. They voted for Andrew Cuomo because they see through socialism as, you know, the failure that it would be for this city.
Arthel, I understand there's been a push on the right. Curtis, I always say his name wrong. Sliwa. He came out on Fox and said, listen, don't talk about this race on the college application thing, talk about his policies. But when you go and make a video like that, which is essentially making fun of both a race and a religion, you kind of put yourself out there and you need to kind of walk a straight line.
He's not making fun of anyone's religion, big dog. They have not made an argument as to, they have not even proven, they've not even shown anything. He didn't even make the video, and not only did he not make the video, but the video itself is not even like making fun of Jews. Do they think he's in the video? Oh my God. Do they think he's in the fucking video, dude? Oh my God. They definitely think he's in the video. Not that it fucking matters because it's not an anti-Semitic video at all. Oh my God. Some do. Zoran Mamdani celebrated Hanukkah by releasing a video of himself as an Indian comedy trio dressing up as Jews and spinning a dreidel. Imagine the outrage if a white politician did this with any other religion. What the fuck? Dude. God, Eyal Yakubi is so fucking annoying. I mean, it's just like these guys, Drew Pavlov, Eyal Yakubi, all these like fucking people, they're so stupid and so fucking racist. And you expect them to just like kind of go away because people will like recognize they're stupid and racist after the 700th fucking time that they're outed as being stupid and racist. But then you realize, no, actually, everyone is just as stupid and just as racist. So they love this shit. The whole conversation is so fucking funny. There are literally videos of people making Hanukkah raps, and we don't hear a fucking peep out of those people. It's not mocking the Jewish faith. It's pure fucking racism, unironically anti-Semitism for basically saying that Jews can only be white. Yeah. 31,000 likes. Resurfaced video of Zoran Mamdani shows the New York City mayoral candidate mocking Jews during Hanukkah. I'm sorry, dude, but if there was any sort of like institutional protection against Islamophobia, these people would be getting called out right now, not the other way around. Okay. It goes back to the thing that I said over and over again, which many people in my former podcast co-hosts' community got mad at me for, which is objectively the truth. While anti-Semitism and Islamophobia are unacceptable bigotries, anti-Semitism has no institutional permission, whereas Islamophobia has all institutional permission. There is no punishments for being Islamophobic. You can be as openly Islamophobic as you want to be. That's all that, like, you can just get away with saying whatever the fuck you want. This is only offensive if you're literally just super racist. It's true. Like, you just genuinely either A, think that these are like Arab Muslims, and even then, like, there is no mockery of Judaism here at all. And you just personally are racist enough to think that they're one, A, Arab Muslims, and B, making a mockery of Judaism by singing a song in a foreign language about Hanukkah, which automatically means it's a mockery.
And why is it that in the Democratic Party, the three most compelling figures, the mayoral candidate, Bernie Sanders, and AOC, the three most compelling figures since the election have been far left of, let's say, the mainstream of a lot of Americans? Why?
Are they? Joe Scarborough, why is it in the Democratic Party the three most compelling figures have been the mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani, Bernie Sanders, and AOC? Why can't moderate Democrats make that same compelling message?
Can't moderate Democrats? Why can't conservative moderate Democrats like you make that same compelling message?
Great question. Great fucking question. Perhaps it's actually the message that is important here. I don't know. Why are our dog shit institutionalist, cowardly, no motion arguments not actually cutting across? Why are they unpopular? I mean, at a fucking certain point, you have to realize that maybe it is the policies that make these people popular. It is the fact that they can earnestly communicate these changes that they want to implement that are actually popular. I don't know. These guys have deluded themselves into thinking that there's some other reason as to why Zoran's popular. He's a politician. He's a politician, okay? Before he ran for mayor of New York, he was a state assembly person. Not a lot of people knew who he was. So why is it that when they encountered him in this setting as a politician, advocating for these things, did they actually like what he has to say? Perhaps it has something to do with his policies. Maybe they should spend another fucking $40 million trying to figure out how they can get Pete Buttigieg to be on board with this. On how Pete Buttigieg can maybe make themselves as popular as Zoran. Yeah. Emma Vigeland had this to say. DC brain rot is so pernicious that these guys can't conceive of left-wing policy driving electoral success. They don't have that problem with Trump and issues like immigration, notably. They keep searching for a manipulative secret sauce to be the counterweight to tax the rich. Yep, it's true. Net support for Mamdani's policies. Raises tax on corporations and millionaires, plus 43%. This is from a YouGov poll that was conducted on June 30th. Free childcare for children under 5 years, plus 38%. Freezing rent for lower income tenants, plus 38%. Government-owned grocery stores, plus 20%. Eliminating fares on public buses, plus 10%. This is really net support for tax the rich to give more free stuff? Yeah, exactly. It's a democracy, jackass. I wonder how. I wonder why he's so fucking popular. I wonder why. It's got to be something but the policies. Because if they recognize that it's the policies, stupid, then all of a sudden they have to change trajectory and actually offend the bottom line, offend the interests and harm the bottom line of their true constituents.
Well, November's a long way away. Congresswoman, thank you for joining us, of course. A disturbing new poll reveals that the growing anti-Semitism on the left in 2017...
Growing anti-Semitism on the left from 2017 till now is that they are finally on the right side of this fucking conflict. Those who have been wronged historically. Those who have been murdered, ruthlessly slaughtered. This is anti-Semitism. To not be on board with Israel's genocide is anti-Semitism. Okay, good luck, dude. I don't even think this is going to be an appealing argument to make with like a younger generation of Republicans. So keep hitting this line, baby.
42% of Democrats supported Israel, but that has completely flipped, and now just 12% of Democrats support the Jewish state. So unfortunately, it's not surprising Democrats elected Mamdani to represent them. He has a...
People get to know him and I don't know that lying about your race is walking a straight line for a record.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, I think one of Mamdani's appeals is that, as you said, Kaylee, because he does, he knows how to use social media. And he has some sort of charisma that these young people are being galvanized by. But because you do understand how social media never...
I love that both the Republicans and the Democrats are saying the same thing. Like, the Democrats are like, what's the method to the madness? What's the secret sauce? And how can we copy it? It can't be the policies, obviously. And the Republicans are like, what's the method to the madness? Oh, his powers of doing Shia style hypnosis. It must be that he is a 12er Shia, and therefore he has arrived at the power of hypnosis and been able to hypnotize New Yorkers with his sexy dancing hips and rap music.
Goes away. You don't make a video like that. It's going to come back to haunt you, and it's inappropriate, quite frankly.
He's not in the video, you fucking moron. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. We should be tarring and feathering these fucking people, dude. It's so crazy. It is fucking insane. Not only is the video not anti-Semitic, unless you literally think, like, brown people can't do a Hanukkah song in brown people language, which is already racist in and of itself, but it's doubly racist that you think he's in the fucking video because there's Indian dudes in the video and he's an Indian guy. What the fuck?
But, you know, listen, I think that I noticed that Minority Leader Jeffries didn't necessarily answer Mr. Sharpton's question, and I think that's where the Democrats are having some big problems. I think they need to offer Americans something to stand for and to be drawn to, as opposed to just telling them to run away from something that they say is not bad.
Joe, I know you've got something to say about this. Let me introduce this, and then you can double up here. While most Democrats hail Mamdani as their socialist savior, a few are worried this lurch to the far left could cost them in the midterms.
I was very surprised that he won. When you talk about, you know, free childcare and free buses and all of this stuff, it's like free, free, free. It ain't gonna work. If you're the Democrats, and you hear me and hear me good, if you...
Bro, Unc, stick to fucking ball, okay? Stick to fucking ball. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Stick to, like, which Pokemon you'd fuck, okay? Or which Pokemon you think is, like, cool. Just get the fuck out of here, dude. Oh, my God. Going on the Sean Hannity show. Like, what is his pedigree? Bro said LeBron's a bad dad for letting his son play. I will never take him seriously ever again. Oh.
a chance in the midterms, if you want a chance for the presidency, you better not lean far left the way that you did in 2024.
Right,
it will not work.
Yeah, it seems like there's fear among the Dems when they're already floating unhinged conspiracy theories about the 2026 election.
Do you worry about vote tampering in the midterms? Do you worry about Donald Trump and Stephen Miller and some of these types monkeying around with the midterms and the way we do elections in this country?
In the short word, yes. In the longer word, very. I don't put anything past him. Nothing. To try to call the election off, to do anything you can.
Yeah, it seems to me like they're worried about the midterms. They only hold a 2-point advantage in generic polling. And a drastic...
That is abysmal, dog. I'm sorry. The fact that the Democrats, which have historic levels of unpopularity, are still able to get, on the RCP average, a 2-point marginal edge over the Republicans is so insane. I think we are officially arriving at the Felix Biederman, 60,000 voter election. Like, that is mind-boggling, dude. The fact that the Democrats are so fucking underwater within their own base of support that, and even with all that, they're still able to marginally beat out the Republicans broadly is insane. Did Hasan just tell Stephen A. Smith to shut up and talk about dribbling? I said stick the ball. That's his fucking area of, I guess, reasonable success. That's his thing, Yeah, the RCP average is also like favoring the Republicans too.
Difference compared to the 7% lead they had ahead of the 2018 midterms. It's not just Congress where Republicans are surging. President Trump is winning over America. His approval rating is 10 points higher than it was in his first term. Conch, I've thrown a lot at you. Go where you want.
Okay, so if we're at a point where we get to 2026 in the midterms, and it is shown that Iran's nuclear facilities were obliterated, as many believe they were, and we have inflation in the 2% range, about where it is right now. The S&P just had its best month in many years. Consumer confidence at a 4-year high. Unemployment down around 4%. We have more job openings than we actually have people looking for jobs at this point. So if the economy continues to take off, especially after this big, beautiful bill, and we have peace and prosperity, to Arthel's point, then what are Democrats going to run on in terms of not so much...
How long could they just, deny observable reality, you think? Every time I click on a Fox News report, it just feels like they're speaking from an alternative dimension where things are great. When the president is Donald Trump or a Republican, obviously. Because when it's not, things are still shitty, but at least they accurately reflect on how shitty things are when it's a Democrat in charge. But when a fucking Republican is in charge, they're like, dude, the economy is great. Everyone can afford multiple homes. Okay? There are so many jobs. There are job postings with hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line. People are just not even going after these jobs anymore because everyone has a job. Everyone's so happy with the availability of jobs and how much money they make.
Trump is bad. We're going to save democracy. But what are you going to offer up to the American people if the economy...
There's so much peace and prosperity around the world, too.
...is going well, and we have peace in the Middle East. I don't see where they go with this from here, especially when you have... How do you pronounce his name again? Sharpton called him Mandani. He added 9 letters to the guy's name. It's remarkable. Yeah, Mamdani is the correct way. But again, if you're an anti-Semite, you're basically a communist. You want government-run supermarkets, free universal child care, free busing, the NYPD replaced by social workers, and abolishing ICE. If that defines...
Is photoshopped? Wait, what do you mean is photoshopped? Oh my God. Did they make his hips smaller or something? What is this distortion?
Democratic Party, they're going to have a lot of trouble winning in the midterms. That what works in New York will not work in many swing states. That's certainly for sure.
Kayleigh, I think what defines the Democratic Party right now is just simply being anti-Trump. And Joy Reid has put out another conspiracy theory. Let's hear it.
This is somebody who is behaving as an autocrat because they don't anymore believe. He said it during the election. I don't need your votes anymore. And he doesn't. I don't think Trump intends to leave office. I'm very clear about that. I think he intends to stay in office like Putin till he dies.
What do you think about that?
You just wonder if they ever get tired of this narrative, of these talking
Not
points.
at all.
Listen, I'm bullish on 2026. I understand the historical precedent. I know it's typically hard for the reigning party to keep going. But let me just say this. If there's one thing that the past couple of weeks have proven, it is never, ever, ever bet against the guy who has managed to fulfill just about every campaign promise that he made in the first 6 months since being back in office. And never, never overestimate a party that is caught in a death spiral of its own making, refusing to learn any...
Yeah. The only organically popular figure, the only organically popular figure in a party that is like experiencing unimaginable unpopularity is actually signing off on their death sentence. If it is, and you guys hate the Democrats, why the fuck are you advocating for them then? This doesn't make any sense, right? If you want the Democrats to lose over and over again, you should be talking about how great Mamdani is. So what is it? Why is it that you guys are constantly fucking railing against the guy? Why don't you do the same thing that the Democrats did to the Republican Party? The strategy of highlighting some of the most reactionary elements within the base of support, which was supposed to be this massive success, right, for the Democrats. And it seemingly did not happen. It actually just turned the Republican Party even more right-wing and even more psychotic, created an underlying base of support for Donald Trump. Donald Trump himself was the Pied Piper strategy. Why won't the Republicans use the Hillary Clinton-style Pied Piper strategy on Zoran Mamdani if they think he's such an unfavorable person? Net favorability, Mamdani plus 5%, Cuomo minus 5%, Sliwa minus 9, Adams minus 29. American Pulse from July 1st.
Lesson from the past 6 months. The Democrats are destroying themselves. Trump is doing everything that he promised, and voters are paying attention.
All right. Well, anything?
No, I'm just going to say I'm going to defend Reverend Sharpton. It's an easy name to say, but when you come across a new name, that just can happen. You know.
Zohran Mamdani on anti-Semitism. This was your moment, Hakeem. This is the kind of cherry picking because of who donates to Hakeem Jeffries. AIPAC donates to Hakeem Jeffries. I've had a podcast popping off.
I think our nominee,
friends of the show,
is going to have to convince folks that he is prepared to aggressively address the rise in anti-Semitism
I
in
love
the city
them.
of New York, which has been an unacceptable development.
Okay. First of all, he has addressed the rise of anti-Semitism, and it's not performative. It's very, very real, and he understands that it's real, and he has the endorsement of other Jewish politicians that aren't propagandized by a corrupt Israeli government, Hakeem.
Yes.
Secondly, this was your moment, Hakeem, to also stand up against Islamophobia, because here's the thing about human rights, you guys. You don't get to cherry pick. If you're against anti-Semitism, then you have to be against Islamophobia, homophobia, racism, and down the line. Also, class warfare, this bigotry towards poor people is just abhorrent, which disproportionately hurts people with the color of Hakeem Jeffries' skin. And so this kind of cherry picking, because of who donates to Hakeem Jeffries, AIPAC donates to Hakeem Jeffries. How on earth right now is the government of Israel helping calm and quell anti-Semitism? How? How are they doing it? They're not. They lie and they propagandize and they say, we get to do all this stuff with impunity. And then if you criticize us or you do anything wrong towards us or you speak out against us, then we're going to call you an anti-Semite. The people who preach against anti-Semitism should be joining Zoran Mandani and standing up against the Islamophobic attacks on him. He has not said anything disparaging about Jewish people. He stands with them in solidarity. And this type of crap is so disgusting to me. And it is a cancer within the Democratic Party. And I'm just going to tell you guys something. We lost these last 2 elections to an idiot because of these centrist policies, and you're being beholden to special interests. And by God, it's not going to happen again. You can either be a part of the problem or a part of the solution. But if you want to try to box us in when we can clearly see with our eyes and clearly hear with our ears exactly what's happening with Israel and Gaza and try to propagandize another way, we're not dumb like MAGA. We're not fucking stupid. Your base is smarter, and y'all are going to have to adapt or get the fuck out.